And on the
It's gonna get
internet.
canceled right now. Kidding.
But yo, no. Oh yeah, wait. Speaking of like canceled, I don't know if I like. I remember we did that episode not a few months ago, but like last year around May, and I don't think I listened to the Saving Vice album when it came out because like of the controversy, and I feel bad now because like they're really good homies now. So I was thinking about possibly deleting that episode if I go back and like see if like I was saying anything because yeah, they're really nice people. And Tyler is my dad.
Well, I'm looking at the live right now. Our cameras went out.
Oh yeah, because I I opened a
There
different
we go.
yeah.
Ah, I got you. Hello. I have to be a bit more theatrical because I have my camera on too.
Oh wait, it's gonna do it again because I'm pulling up my Spotify. Okay, there we
I gotta pull mine up too.
go. Yep. All right, so we are gonna start off. Let's just start off and finish the list. How about that?
Okay.
Deal with that.
So it was my turn.
Yeah. And also,
I don't even remember what I've done either. God damn it.
the next pick for me, I literally just added like right before we went live because I was like, holy shit, this album is so good. Why is it not on this list? And the spot I put it on, it deserves it.
Right, yeah. Um. Okay, so what number are we on? We're on 50 now.
Yeah. Wow, we
Okay, so
literally
my
got half of it.
that's awesome. All right, so my 50 is "The Flood" by Mice and Men.
Oh shit. Wait, I think I have that on my. I don't know. Wait, I might have already gone past it. I don't remember. Um.
So this album, uh, I listened to this album a little late because the first time I ever heard it was in 2018, I think, which is crazy because I listened to the debut album about 5 years before that, which is crazy. But this album still holds up as a classic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great tracks on this album. You've got the title track, of course. The Depths is a heavy banger, but the only problem that I do have, and this might just be me just tweaking out, but there's a couple tracks that just sound different production wise.
Mm,
I don't know. Like
I,
with the Depths, like the difference between the Depths and OG Loco
oh wait,
is
wait.
huge.
Well, the Depths is a deluxe edition track,
That's true as well. That's true as well.
so
But that's still a little off-putting as well.
that would actually make sense. So,
That's
oh
fair.
wait, it was on my list too. I remember I was fucking mooning about it. I was just like, this is well, I don't know why it's not higher. Oh wait, I do know why, because there's one more that
But like,
has sentimental value.
right, and like speaking of OG Loco, it's one of those tracks that you can
I
get
go
into, of
hard in
course.
the motherfucking paint.
Come on, finish that sentence.
No, no.
um, Another track that I really love is "Product of a Murderer." I don't think that one gets talked about enough,
Oh
but
yeah, dude, that
yeah.
song's fucking amazing. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh yeah,
I have to send this people. Did you send it to anybody?
I'm saying it right now.
Okay. I'm Dirty Dan.
I want to be dirty, dirty.
I'm Doom
I'm
Daddy.
dirty, dirty.
Daddy Doom. I don't know how I came up with that, but I am really glad I did because it's fucking funny.
Mm, I type this out.
Hmm, okay. 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 Not gonna make this beer. Can I talk about my next pick?
Yes.
Okay. My next pick is by a British band. Well, actually, the vocalist is apparently now moved to America. Whatever. Anyways, this is a band that used to be very good, but then they kind of sold out. And, uh, yeah, sucks because their first like 4 albums were really good, which is kind of similar to another band that has 4 good albums. Well, they all their albums I like their albums, but their first 4 albums I like the most. Anyways, it's not Bring Me the Horizon because that's probably who you thought it was. It is Asking Alexandria, Reckless and Relentless.
Good
That
pick.
this
Very good
album
pick.
so fucking good. I was just like, dude, why was I sleeping on this album? It is so fucking good. And you know Blood or Wine by Saving Vice, where he goes, "I write the card of public opinion." It's like he's like yelling it. It's right before the chorus. Um, I think he got that from To the Stage, which that's my favorite song on the album. I probably fucked up the lyrics too. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking
Yeah.
of Saving Vice, not only did they release a song, well, because Hello There has a 10th, or not 10th, 5th anniversary, which is crazy because that album came out in 2020, so it's been 5
Hmm.
years. Um, anyways, I got this from Saving.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Even though, like, oh yeah, let me get a signed. Though I literally work with all 3 of them. Worked with all 3 of them. But I was just like, hey, add it to the collection. And me and Danny bumped it on the way back from the studio. Um, yeah. But anyways, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Reckless and Relentless is so fucking good. Such a good album.
I agree. I agree.
And there's another Asking Alexandria album on the list. Probably
Probably gonna be
obvious.
Stand Up and Scream.
Not
Probably.
gonna say yes or no.
No.
Well,
So
actually,
basically, yes.
I think there's another one. Another one. So
Another one.
another one and another one.
Another one.
Oh no, there's only one. I think I already said the other one, which I think was the black. Wait, did I put the black? No, I didn't. This.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, I kind of want to change one of my picks due to recent events that I'm not gonna talk about on the stream, but I saw Throne on Sunday and they were really fucking good, and I kind of want to put the album higher because they played all but one of the songs live. So they basically played the whole entire album and it slaps live.
hmm.
Especially when you're jumping off the fucking stage and the vocalist is literally putting like doing this like the whole set to you. I was just like, bro, what the fuck? Cause like probably saw me screaming the lyrics at the top of my lungs and he just kept like going like he literally at one point grabbed my head and was like this. I was like, holy shit. And like some dude next to me who was like, now you gotta jump off the stage. I was like, all right, bet.
Thank you for joining.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah,
This show, woman.
yeah. Anyways, and then I did jump off this stage, and then I crowd surfed into the pit and landed on my feet. I felt like Master Chief from fucking Halo. I was just like, I'm here, and like
I the weapon.
I got
I
a
the weapon.
I got a fucking pop for that too. Like people were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't think I didn't think I'd be getting pops at shows in 2025, but I mean, here we are.
Oh shit, that's in your near future though.
Huh?
That's in your near future though.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways,
Oh,
back on
right.
your turn.
My number 49 is probably going to surprise you a little bit for how low it is, but it is in my top 50, so I guess it's deserving. It's Architects, All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us.
Blah!
Yeah, blah. The reason it's so the reason it's not as high is because there's two albums that are way better than it, in my opinion. Well, not way better, but you know what I mean.
I mean, there
There are
might
two albums
there
that are better.
there might be a better album tomorrow because they're coming out with a
True,
new
yeah.
album. That
I
that
think I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people say
no
it's gonna be.
no
I actually think it's gonna be pretty
I
cool.
actually am really excited for it. And I'm excited for a lot of other things tomorrow. But um, anyways, yeah, continue.
Alright. So with this album, the reason it's so low is probably because I played the hell out of it in high school. Especially Gone with the Wind, and honestly, and this is another song that I don't hear nobody talk about. It's Memento Mori, and it might be because of how long it is, but uh, it, those are two of my favorite tracks that Architects ever written. Of course, there's other tracks like Gravity, A Match Made in Heaven,
Oh,
Nihilist,
a
you
match
name
made
it. There's
a match made
a
in
lot of good tracks
heaven
on this
is one of my favorite Architect songs. And Gone with
album.
the Wind, and dude, that album is like it's so
Oh yeah,
fucking hard.
I might need to re-listen to it because it has been a second since I have, but I think I'm gonna stand by it. Like there's two albums that are better, but I'll stick with that.
Okay, I think I already know what the two are, but one of
Probably.
them one of them is Holy Hell.
I'm not gonna say yes or no. It's up to you.
So it's yes. Okay. Somebody texted me, so I was just like, it was one of my that was also at the throne, but I I barely even saw them because I was in the pit, but they gave me a ride home, so that was sick. Actually, I was not. I was in the pit. I started the pit, and then I just was like, "Nah, I'm jumping off the stage because like this is the only opportunity I'm gonna be able to do it for Throne because they're probably not gonna play a smaller venue than this ever again."
Probably not.
They played the Palladium upstairs, which is where we played. Well, my former band that we're not talking about anymore because there's some loser in the band.
That was awful, Trent. That
No,
was terrible, man.
it wasn't. It wasn't. It's funny.
This podcast is sponsored not really by Mountain Dew.
No, this podcast is
Not really.
sponsored by Dr. Pepper. If you know, you
No,
know.
this podcast is sponsored by Smirnoff.
This
Thank
podcast
God for this.
is sponsored by
Sorry.
Perchance. Anyways, my next album. Oh shit! What the fuck? There's a fucking bug on me. Um. Yes, that's a great album. Anyways, it is Living Things by Linkin Park.
Solid
Yeah,
pick.
great album. Yeah, honestly, not a lot of people give this album respect. I don't know why. I mean, I know it's like on the more electronic side, but I really also like this album is kind of like sentimental to me because I listened to this album a lot when I was in foster care. So, and like
Oh,
that's like the only thing really like me happy. And I remember every time Burn It Down came on the radio, I was just like, we're building it up to break it
hmm.
back down. And Castle, literally every song. I love every song on this album. Lost in the Echoes, Burn It Down, um, Victimize, Castle of Glass, which is one of my favorite Linkin Park songs. Um, but yeah, such a good album that doesn't really get talked about. Hell yeah, Dr. Pepper is better.
It's better for you, and I wish I took that advice, but it's okay.
Dr. Pepper.
Alright, so my next one, I don't even know if it's an album or an EP 'cause it's 7 songs, but it's labeled as an album and they call it an album, so I'm just gonna go with it and say it's an album. I'm going with Tesseract Sonder.
Right? Wait,
Um, that
how long is it?
it's 36 minutes.
Okay,
I
wait.
think that I think that's why. I think that's why because it's over 30 minutes. But whatever.
Okay, wait.
But
I didn't.
yeah. I mean, sorry.
I didn't tell you. I don't know why, but me and Robbie and Danny, like, we just randomly started going, like halfway through the day. Like, I don't know, and now it's just fucking funny. Like, we were just like, was it? Oh yeah, I think it was because of one of the lyrics I put. Like, that wasn't as good as the lyric I had before. He was like, I was like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. I came in the studio with basically 80% of the lyrics done, which is really good. But like that last 10% is mainly because of the theme of the song was like a little different towards the end, and it was like stay on track. I was like, all right, whatever. Anyways,
But I mean, come on. If you're a prog metal fan like I am, at least prog metal that's interesting and fun to listen to, Tesseract's one of those bands that stands out when it comes to that. And one of my favorite tracks on this album is Juno, and then Beneath My Skin, Mirror Image. Um, this album really kind of brought them to prominence a little bit, and for good reason. This album's solid. I mean, it's the classic Tesseract sound. They don't go over the top with the crazy prog nature of it, but they don't hold back either. It's got that mix of what you'd expect from Tesseract, as well as the gent patterns and riffs that you typically hear from a prog metal song. It's a pioneer album for prog metal, so I enjoy it. Even though it came out in 2018, it's still one of my favorites they've dropped,
all
and
right.
it kind of makes me a little upset to put another album ahead of it, but you'll know what it is in a sec. But
I
that's
don't.
my pick for
I don't listen to
48.
Tesseract. I don't
You're
listen.
missing out, bro. Missing out.
I know, maybe. I kind of actually had an idea since like my Instagram is kind of getting a lot of followers to make like a Patreon where I like react to music, but like I listen to so much music that like most of the stuff that people would suggest I've probably already listened to. But
All right.
eh, anyways,
Aaron is asking for our opinion on the Wonderwall cover from Bring Me the Horizon.
I really like it.
It's not something that I'm crazy about, but I'm not crazy about Bring Me anyway. So
Anyways, so anyways, my next
duality of
album,
man.
the next album is The Devil Wears Prada, and it is one of their older albums. I actually already had an older album on here. It is their 2016 album that is super underrated. It is Transit Blues. Yeah, this album is fucking great, and I don't know. My favorites, literally one of my favorite songs from The Devil Wears Prada is on this album, and it is The Keys to Evergreen. That song is so good, as well as Praise Poison. Bleh, God, uh, Negative Speech, Skyrim.
Yeah,
Anyway, Praise Poison, Worldwide, Lock and Load. Yeah, all those songs are super good. But honestly, the whole album slaps. It's more on the emo side, kind of like Color Decay, which spoiler alert, it is on the list. So yeah. But yeah, this album is so fucking good, and I do not hear enough about it.
that's facts. I agree with that. All right, my number 47 is A Quiet Place to Die by Alpha Wolf,
Hmm.
and the reason it's a little lower is because the only reason really. What in the fuck? I got an anti. Get the fuck off my screen. Get off my screen. Thank you. Anyway, anyway. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's a little too breakdown heavy for my liking.
Yeah.
I feel like at some parts, and I know Alpha Wolf's a heavier band. I feel like some parts are a little heavy just for the sake of being heavy, but at that point, it's also the thing that makes Alpha Wolf cool is the fact that they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So they make their shit heavy, but it's also on this album. I don't know, man. The reason that I put this album over the newest one is just it's because I related to this a lot more than
Yeah.
Half Living Things, which is why Half Living Things isn't on my list.
I don't really
Um,
I don't really think it's heavy for the sake of being heavy. I mean, I think it's just their sound is like that
that's fair.
pisscore.
That's
It's like saying knock loose is just being heavy for the sake of being heavy, because that's
Well,
their
I'm also
whole
not as good at Knock Loose.
point.
So
Uh,
I
but
feel
any
you, but I don't know that. I mean, obviously there's some retaining parts in this. Like, there's a lot of breakdowns, yes, but they're done the right way. So that's why it's on the list as
Akutamaho.
well. Akutamaho.
Honestly,
But
okay,
my favorite
I
track is "Bleed for You." Honestly,
of course it is. Anyways,
it's good.
yeah, I know, but basic bitch.
How is it basic, bitch? I never hear anybody talk about it. Fuck.
For you, it's a
Ba-
basic bitch
Basic,
choice.
basic bitch would be Akudama.
It's basic bitch for you because I knew it because it's the only song on there with cleans.
I mean, Restricted is also one of my favorites, and
Eee,
Ultraviolet Violence as well.
eee. Yeah! Thanks, Discord. My favorite on that album was Creep. Creep! Okay. My next pick is an old deathcore band that is actually releasing an album next week. Can you guess what band it is?
Whitechapel.
Yeah, and it is their second album, and that album is This Is Exile. And this is literally one of the most iconic deathcore albums ever. Um, Obviously, This Is Exile, the title track, is iconic. Possession, Father of Lies. But the whole album is fucking incredible, and Phil Bozeman is an incredible vocalist. There's a reason why people still want to be him to this day. There's a reason why people are still covering all those songs. Mostly Possession and This Is Exile, but it's honestly like one of the best MySpace era deathcore albums.
Respect, respect, respect. All right, so my next pick. I'm kind of trying to keep track in my head. My next pick's a band that nobody talks about, and it's kind of it's understandable because they dropped one album and then they fell apart. It's the
Hmm.
Heart Machine with Disclosure. And I don't expect you to know who they are, but they're a band that was signed to Sumerian back in 2012. They dropped this album, and I said a lot with the Job for a Cowboy album. A lot of it sounded a little bit like the Heart Machine. You had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. Well, was a prog metal band that mixed melodic death metal with metalcore and put it into a prog metal mix, which was which was an interesting thing, and I enjoy this album for that mix. And I'm not a death metal guy, but I quite enjoyed this. But this band fell apart immediately after dropping this album, so that sucks. But it's still a good album to this day. My favorite track on it is either Machine Over or probably The Escapist Notion as well. It's definitely high on my list. But yeah,
Alright, that's cool. My next pick is a band that is kind of a ripoff of Bring Me the Horizon. This album is actually like basically Sempiternal 2.0, but counterpoint, people wanted Sempiternal Part 2 from Bring Me the Horizon. They didn't make it. So this new band decided we're going to make it ourselves. And that band is Bad Omens. With their debut album, Bad Omens. Um, And yeah, like you can obviously hear it. This is super Sempiternal inspired. They try to lie and say, "Oh no, we're inspired by Slipknot, Deftones, Disturbed." I was like, "No, you're not. You look Noah Sebastian looked like Ollie Sykes, try to sound like Ollie Sykes, try to perform like Ollie Sykes, and I'm just like, buddy, just say you're ripping off Bring Me the Horizon. Like people already know. And I remember they used to get a lot of hate for it, and now people are doing the exact same thing that they did to Bring Me the Horizon. They're like, go back to the heavy shit. Even though they still do write heavy shit, like artificial suicide. We're not gonna pay a good money, ain't nothing back in the phone that you're gonna pay, motherfucker. You could. And but yeah, also this album is super fucking depressing. Like songs like Enough is Enough and then Brawl. Yeah. Super depressing album. Like people think Just Pretend is depressing. Listen to this album without crying. Impossible.
Hmm. Right. Number 45 for me. It's kind of a basic metalcore album, but like basic in the good way. Like they don't do too much, but they don't have to. Again, probably another band you probably never heard of. It's If I Were You with Inner Signals.
I have
Uh,
heard of If I
you
Were
have heard of
You.
them?
Told me about them
Oh yeah,
many
that's right. Facts. I did tell you. Yeah, I showed you with or without. My bad.
Yeah.
But uh,
Boo.
sorry. But Inner Signals was the album that got me into them. And they have a lot of their most popular tracks on this album. Paralysis, probably my favorite on the album. Faithless, Broken. There's a lot of great tracks that are to be desired on this album. It's not their most beloved, which I don't understand why. There's so many great tracks on this album. Hollowed is a really good heavy track. If you want to, get hop in the pit from one of their tracks, that's a track you hop in on. Vanquished is a heavy one. Anxiety is probably the heaviest one on the album. My favorite tracks that I'm impartial to are Paralysis, Lost, and Faithless. But they're all singles. Well, Paralysis isn't, but yeah, that this album very solid. I think it was the last one with a full lineup though, which sucks, but very solid album.
Alright, alright. So, my next pick is a band that you like a lot. God, what the fuck? There's bugs on my fucking desk, and it's really pissing me off. Anyways, probably because I haven't fucking. Well, I just finally cleaned my computer for the first time, and since I got it, which that's a mistake, but I always did not know how to open it up, and I figured it out. Besides, this besides the point. This is a band that you love, like you really love. Uh, actually, you're wearing their shirt, yes. So, this album, it gets a lot of. It's like a little. People are like on the fence about it, but it was my first album from Periphery, and that album was Periphery 4, and that was Hail Sand.
You know what's crazy?
Your next pick
I'm
is
no. It's actually way higher. It's gonna be on the list, but it's way higher. Hail stands one of my only two 10 out of 10 albums.
anyways,
Yes.
but yeah,
So, but I yeah, you can go ahead and continue with that.
Reptile. I mean, it's a song that's super long, but deserves it. Like, it's not like just a long song for the sake of being a long song. We played a lot of Periphery on the way to New York because that's a 3 hour drive. So I was like, I
Yeah.
mean, listen to 3 Periphery albums, then you're in New York. Actually, it was 3.5 hours, and we also kept losing reception, so that sucked. So we just listened to Destined for Doom. Oh yeah, by the way, March 14th, Vindictive drops. You better fucking pre-save it, and if you don't, you're a fucking loser who doesn't like breakdowns and cool music. Anyways, back to the program. Um, Blood Eagle is a banger. Uh, I gotta scroll down. Satellites is a banger. It's Only Smiles. The whole album is banger after banger after banger after banger.
After banger, after banger, after banger. Well, my take on Hellstand, Reptile, Blood Eagle, Church Burner. Crush is even a pretty good track in the middle there. It's Only Smiles is one I'm partial to. Satellites, I can go on and on. I mean, I'll talk about it more later, but yeah.
I'm kind of
But
mad
my
that they
next one,
I'm mad
sorry,
that they repressed the album and I didn't get one because it sold out like immediately.
it's one of their most popular albums. Like, I've
Which
never
is
heard of Periphery fans
weird.
being on the fence about it. I've
No,
never heard of Periphery fans being on the fence about it.
I don't know. I feel like they're like diehard fans are like it wasn't that good
I mean,
because
yeah, of course. I mean, because everybody likes Periphery 1.
yeah,
And I'm
and
like, Periphery 1 isn't
Juggernaut.
even their best album, bro. And the Juggernaut albums, yeah, for real. Those are
Uh,
for good reason, though, and those are higher up on my list, too. But,
anyway,
all right, so my next pick is from a band that I have been partial to since middle school. And they just released an anniversary version of this album. It's August Burns Red with Thrill Seeker.
noise.
They just released the anniversary edition of this album,
We talked
and
about
honestly, mhm, yeah, and honestly, like through another listen, I might put it up higher because like I hadn't listened to it in years, but then I listened to it again and I was like, it needs to be on the list. But I don't know if it should be as high as the other ABR albums that are also on this list. So I feel like 44 is a good place for Thrill Seeker, but that might
I
change later on. But
I have two August Burns Red albums that are really high up, which I mean is pretty
one of them is
obvious.
probably Phantom Anthem.
Nope,
No,
nope. I
Messengers.
yeah,
I was about to say.
China.
Good.
Anyway, this next album is a band that
A
you,
band.
a bond that you just talked about, like a few, like I think it was the first one that you said, but it is a Mice and Men with their album after that album, Restoring Force, which is the first album of Aaron Pauli. This album has a lot of sentimental value because it was the first album that I ever showed my uncle, and like he loved it. Like I was surprised because like usually old dudes do not like metalcore, and like I put it on and he was like, "Holy crap! Like this is amazing!" And like I remember one time we were listening to the album when he was driving and he literally started crying when he was listening to "Would You Still Be There." That's like how like emotional it is, or it was, yeah.
Hmm.
But even taking that away, it still would be really. I honestly should have put it higher because this album is also an album that got me into like the newer metalcore because before all I listened to was like Killswitch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine, stuff like that. But then of Mice and Men, I was just like, holy crap! Like, and then I checked out Bring Me the Horizon, then all the bands now that I so,
Right.
but yeah, there's honestly not one bad song on the album, and the most underrated song on the album, in my opinion, would be "Identity." People do not talk about this song enough. It is so fucking good, especially Aaron, especially. Oh yeah, by the way, Aaron, my brothers, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Aaron Paul. But
All right. Well, I do
I
declare.
wasn't finished yet. We're not finished until I say we're finished.
That's what
We're
she said.
no, it's a Breaking Bad reference. Fucking
Hmm. I know
dingo
it is.
dingus. Anyways, Uh, public service announcement. Feels like forever. Bones exposed, which is a metalcore classic. At this point, because it is 11 years old, which is fucking insane. That is like
Right.
ridiculous. That, anyways. Would you still be there? Glass Hearts, which I think is like one of the heaviest. No wait, Break Free is the heavy. No wait, actually, You Make Me Sick. You Make Me Sick is that
I was about to
heaviest
say,
one.
yeah. That one's
But
got that 17-second scream on it.
oh, I should have covered that song, dude. That would have been a flex. That would have been a fucking flex.
You make me so.
Yeah, I did the scream that Phil Bozeman did on a Visceral Wretch, the one like right at the start in Danny's car, and Danny can vouch for me because he was like, "Dude, you fucking hit that shit." I was like, "Yeah, I fucking did." Anyways, hunting.
My dude Declare, number 43 is Darko US Oni. I feel like it's a little too long. That's the only reason it's a little.
That's what she said.
No girl's ever said that. Let's be real. Anyway,
Hey yo, wait,
a
what?
couple. Now that being, there's some great tracks that outweigh that. There's no bad track, but like there's some good tracks that outweigh the fact that it's a little too long. And there's a couple of tracks that really shouldn't be there. But Evolving, Anna, Acid Inject, Dragon Chaser is one I'm partial to. Um, I mean, it's Darko. You want some frantic guitars with some pitch shifters and
Yeah,
some Joshua Travis shit.
oh, yeah.
You know, and just some weird structures and a deathcore track. It's Darko. I mean, they're gonna give it to you. But yeah, this is out of all the Darko albums, this is my least favorite.
Oh, really? Well, that I
Yes.
think that was I think I already put it on. Wait, yeah, I did. That is, I think, the only Darko album because that's actually no, I lied. That's not the only one I put. I put their self-titled too. 'Cause- but yeah, he is my favorite anyway.
Oni, my favorite.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch,
Shut the fuck up,
bro. Stop trying to get us canceled.
I
There,
am a walking cancellation.
there are kids watching, like
Who the fuck's a kid who watches our shit?
my brother,
How old's your fucking brother? Oh.
15. Yeah. Anyways, um,
Gotta learn somehow.
shut the fuck. Anyways. The next pick is from a band that I didn't see on Friday because I was busy in the studio. And I already had a ticket to see them. I didn't get to see them, but I've already seen them. Not that big of a deal. My band is more important, even though I really love this. This is my favorite album from them. It is Counterparts, Nothing Left to Love. And I think it is their best album. You got Love Me, which is like basically a staple hardcore song now. Um, or metalcore, whatever you want to fucking call it. I mean, technically, Boundaries, Dying Wish, Counterparts, they're all metalcore because if you think about it, metalcore is met- metal mixed with hardcore. That's exactly
Solid
what.
hardcore.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Love Me, Wings of Nightmare, Paradise and Plague, which is probably my favorite song. The Hands That. Hold on. Not showing me. Anyways, but yeah, the whole album is fucking great and I love it. Will you love
Right.
me with nothing left to love? Hold on.
My my next album. Uh I think it's a fair place because it's the debut. It's Spirit Box with Eternal Blue.
That's kind of
I
crazy.
think it I think it's fair. I think it's fair though, because hear me out. Their new music is better than anything on Eternal Blue, and
You're
I will
gonna
die on this hill.
you're gonna be surprised in a few picks.
But Eternal Blue, I think it's fair because it's a debut album, so you can't expect it to be perfect immediately, unless you're alt, but that's different.
Get the fuck
They're a
up.
Buster band, so of course they are.
Or throat.
Anyway, or Throne. But I mean, there's some great tracks on this album. "Hurt You,"
Yellow
"Yellow Jacket"
Jacket.
featuring Sam Carter. Yeah,
Sun
fucking "Silk
Killer.
in the Strings."
Oh my
"Silk in the
god.
Strings"
That's
is one that no one ever talks about.
I think that's their heaviest song. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
and that's crazy because "Holy Roller's" right after it. The title track's really solid. One that broke me emotionally was "Constance."
Yeah, I know. It broke
The
everybody.
music video for that one
It
broke
broke
me. So,
everybody.
and then of course you got a heavy hitter that has 80 million streams in "Circle with Me." So, I mean,
Every
this
time
this band's taking changing the game in metalcore. They're
every
one of those
time
bands that's changing the game.
every time I listen on since watch the video now, it hits different.
Oh yeah, facts.
Anyways, this album, but you probably saw it coming because I said there was one more album from them on this list, and that is Asking Alexandria, Stand Up and Scream. This is a classic. I used to deny it. Like last year, I was just like, I don't want to say Asking Alexandria is my favorite 2009 album. But nah, fuck it. It is my favorite 2009 album. This album is a fucking classic. It may be a guilty pleasure, but fuck the metal elitists. This is literally the best crabcore album ever created. Like, maybe a hot take, but I don't think it is because like Attack Attack walked, so Asking Alexandria could run. And there's not a bad song on this album. I literally just listened to it the other day. Um fucking the final episode. Um Wait, hold on. This is an album that had a bunch of silly names on it too. So it had Not the American Average, A Prophecy, uh If You Can't Ride Two Horses, you should probably get out of the circus. I used to have a best friend, but he gave me an or they gave me an STD. I was possibly once maybe a cowboy king. That's the one that has yee yee haw! Uh, like this album is just iconic. Honestly, iconic. Actually, I was listening to it today. So yeah, there you go. It sucks that they suck now. But also, fun fact, my vocal teacher was friends with Danny Warsnop, Tyler Small, and they actually did the final episode. Wait, no, not the final episode. Not the American Average live together back in 2010. Also known as my dad. What? I am not. Okay. Oh, oh. Are having technical. Anyways, yeah, I'll just go on and my next one is from a deathcore band that is very respected, and this is their first album with a new vocalist. Um, and this album came and honestly might be their best album, but that's debatable because they've had so many good albums. This album
Real quick,
is
can you hear me now?
yeah,
Okay. God, I need to get a new mic.
this album is Eternal Nightmare by Chelsea. This song literally Hostage is honestly still one of my top five deathcore songs of all time. Like that's how good that song is. And Tom Barber crushed it on this album. Like every track is so fucking good. and people shit on Tom Barber for no reason. I think because like he's got chops. He has had three successful
Mm-hmm.
bands: Lorna Shore, Chelsea Grin, Darko. Yeah. Anyways, now
All
you get
right.
two. Two.
Yeah, I get two. This next one, number 42. Um, it's one that is from my favorite band. It's Invent Animate with Everchanger.
Shout out to the band Ever Change Your Mask.
But I mean, it's the debut album of my favorite band, so I'm not gonna gush too much because I don't want to take too much time. But
Yeah, we'll be here forever.
Native Intellect, The Desperate Are the Calm, Nocturne, Lost Faith, Luna. I can go on and on. This album's a classic. It kind of was one of those albums that kind of fell under the radar a little bit. I cannot hear a single thing you're doing. Uh,
I know. I am not saying anything. Big
but it's one of those albums that kind of fell under the radar because during that time there was a lot of big releases coming out. So it's one that no one really talks about unless you're an anime fan like myself. But I mean, it's a solid album. It's a great album, and I mean, it's my least favorite, but that's saying a lot. So, and then since I get
Two.
two,
We
it's
need
another
a
one that has Marcus. It's
we
another
need
one that has Marcus Vick on it.
we need
Sorry,
to
go ahead.
put that as a soundboard thing.
Yes, two.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, actually, no. Hold on. I got you. I'm already way ahead of you.
Well, anyways, go ahead of your next pick.
My next one is also one that is one that has Marcus Vick on it, but it's not Invent. It's Aviana with Polarize. Yes, that was the first taste at the world god of Marcus. And this was before Marcus was actually crazy good though, but like he was still good on this album. It's I mean, the title track, fucking Pulsar, Aries, Zephyr, The Affliction. It's a good album. It's Aviana's debut. It's not expected to be perfect. But my number 41 is
Wait.
Aviana Polarize.
Anyways,
Number 41.
Juan. Anyways, my next pick is one that you literally just talked about, and it was Spirit Box, Eternal Blue, and we already said everything. Yeah, we already said everything that needs. So I'm gonna talk about the next album, which is on my shirt. It is Signs of the Swarm, Amongst the Low and Empty. This is one of my top 10 deathcore albums. I'm a deathcore simp, and I'm not afraid to admit it because, yeah, apparently deathcore is cool, even with the ladies. But anyways, yeah, this I got to hear this album front to back live as well, so that's also another thing that helps it like stand out. But yeah, there is not a bad song on this album, and they experimented a little bit, like with Dream Killer. Um, wait, that's what it's called. I get confused between that and
You're right.
Silent Planet. No, it is Dream Killer. Okay, good. Because last time I said Dreamwalker, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Silent Planet. But anyways, yeah. Uh, Amongst the Low and Empty, which they made a shirt called Among Us Low and Empty, which I have that shirt, but the sleeves got ripped off, which sucks, and I kind of want to buy another one because it's honestly one of the best shirts I ever had. And non-metal heads used to like be like, "That's a sick shirt." So that's how you know you have a really dope shirt. And then they had Tower of Torsos, Pray for Death. I could go on and on about this album. And I met David Simnotch twice. He's a chill guy who does
All right.
Two. Get two again.
Oh. Okay. So my next one, I actually did a little bit of a re-eval of my favorites. But I think this one's pretty fair for number 40. I'm gonna go with Exodus by Shokran.
Never heard of him.
Uh, yeah, he did.
Oh
Shokran?
yeah. Well, I never listened.
Oh, there you go. But Disfigured Hand, The Swarm, Firstborn. Uh, again, as I said with the other Shokran album that I mentioned, um, Dimitri's guitar work makes this album, and I mean, he's one of my favorite guitarists. Shokran's again, it has the perfect sound of the perfect mix of Shokran's typical sound with a bit of a heavier sound back then. They were a bit more deathcore back then, so um
Hey,
um but yeah.
this is Robbie's imitation of death or vocalist.
Uh,
Like every time somebody's doing vocal takes, but there's somebody behind him, he always does this. I was just like, okay, Rob.
so
And
okay.
anyways, what's next?
My next one. My next one, I think it's safe to put Vildyarta Mastodon,
Oh
not
yeah,
Undervaten, Mastodon, the first album
and
on here.
Spill George,
They
I
have a
just
new album coming out.
fucking psyched. Buster is gonna own 2025. Also,
Mhm.
he did that album with the dude Meyer or Marar, whatever,
Mirror,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, this was an album back then that was just it set itself apart from everybody
Yeah,
because I don't
because
want to say it's
Thal didn't
I don't want to
exist.
say this was back before Thal was cool. Uh, but they had that weird sound that nobody really caught on to until recently because, Thal's becoming popular. And then Buster was like, hey, I'm in another band too, Vildyarta.
Yeah,
Um,
and then oh yeah, did you know Kei Onashi apparently made a Thal song? I didn't listen to it yet, but
I have to listen to it. Oh no.
I kind of want to listen to it right now because fun fact, kind of open for well,
Confusion in a car crash.
uh we can maybe we'll just save it for the
They're on Equal Vision, dude. The
oh
fuck?
shit.
That's wild.
Um by the way, they are super nice people. Um
Yeah.
especially their guitars because I was kind of nerding out. It's just like, dude, your guitar is sick and I was also talking about like MySpace and stuff and like because I am obsessed with MySpace, as you could probably tell by just looking at me right now. I kind of look like literally. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about it later. But anyways, yeah, I literally look like Ollie Sykes or Mitchell Lucker without tattoos.
All right, your turn. Your turn.
My turn. Okay, gotta go. Hey, now. Oh my god! Look at what you did to me. Dude, that song goes hard live. It sucks I'm not
Find the
gonna
a car case.
It sucks that I'm not gonna get to see them live because I'm seeing a better band. That better band, unfortunately, is Boundaries, but it's also not unfortunate because you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I gotta find. Oh wait, okay. This album is literally one of the best albums of the 2010s. And it's probably over. You're probably gonna say it, especially because you don't like them that much. I can already tell by the look of your face that you think it's overrated. But this literally kind of revived metalcore a little bit, especially when every band was kind of sounding the same. And
I'm
this
curious.
band is like a game changer. And I also like mentioned a band that kind of stole inspiration from this album. Um, but anyways, it is Sempiternal from Bring Me the Horizon, which is
I'm
probably
surprised it's not higher.
because there is better albums from Bring Me the Horizon, in my opinion, which people might disagree. But this album is so good. I was literally listening to it. You could probably look right now. Um, I was listening to The House of Wolves, Empire, Sleepwalking, Go to Hell for Heaven's Sake, Shadow Moses, Nick Start to Sing, Seen It All Before, Antivis, which is well, no, my favorite on that album is Empire. Let Them Sing. That's honestly one of my favorite Bring Me the Horizon songs, as well as The House of Wolves and Antivis. The only song I don't like anymore, probably know what it is. Can you feel my heart? Thank you, TikTok. Thank you. But yeah, this album is so fucking good. Just like it's honestly, it's a timeless album. I hope if I have kids, I want them to. I am gonna be like, you're gonna fucking listen to this album and you're gonna like it.
You are gonna finish your dessert.
And you're
Sorry.
gonna like it. Yeah.
All
Anyways,
right. Well, this next one is from around that same time period. Completely different band though. It is another debut album. We're getting into the meat and potatoes of debut albums here. Bless you. Sorry, the girlfriend sneezed. Um, but it is Unprocessed with In Concretion. That is an album you've most likely never heard, and the reason is I've never really talked about it too much. God damn it, dude! I re-listened to it again, and my God, their sound was way different back then than it is now. They were way more metalcore back then. Um, they were kind of like a weird mix of Periphery between the Buried and Me and what's another prog band? Fucking
one of
Tesseract,
us.
a little bit. And they mixed that all into a metalcore type sound. And it
Yeah,
was such a weird but enjoyable listen.
yeah,
And I mean, there's not much more else to say. You know, you got Upon Leaves Falling, Lost in Mediocrity, Beyond the Apron is one of my favorites. Um, the opener, fucking Nothing. The opener. I
yeah.
mean, there's a lot of long songs on this album. This album's an hour and 19 minutes long. But
I don't
like
got an
it's
hour and
still
19 minutes.
but it's still, in my opinion, a very good album. I think the reason that it is lower than, say, Covenant, which I'll talk about later, is because it's so long. There's some tracks on here that kind of overstay their welcome, but I like this album because it got me into one of my favorite bands. And On Process is a top 5 band for me. So,
Well, this next album, I am literally a simp for this vocalist.
yep.
And it is their first album. Well, his first album. Well, first time being on this band album. Beach -0. That's not a number. Anyways, um, man, this album was so fucking good. Album, and it was like my album of the year for almost the entire year. Like, it was so good, and I got to get the album signed. Um, but yeah, you probably already know. It is In Stasis by Monument. It's
Solid,
on a
solid pick, solid pick.
perfect album. Zero bad song. It's a 10 out of 10. And
Pretty sure I already mentioned that one earlier.
which is crazy because it's like more on the genty side and like I like gent of course, but like usually the albums are way too long, but this like is like the perfect length, and not to mention it's kind of produced by my the guy I love. Mick Gordon. Even though, yeah, this is not Mick Gordon. Doom. Doom guy.
Yeah, Golden.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Mick Gordon, did you know he produced for this band called Teeth?
Called what?
Teeth, but like with a 3 at the beginning. So it's like 3 teeth or whatever.
Oh,
But yeah,
oh.
I just figured that out and they sound pretty dope. It's literally like deathcore if it had Mick Gordon like production,
Eh.
which is really sick. That's kind of what I wanted from Destin for Doom, but I don't have Mick Gordon. Anyway,
uh, all right.
right.
This one's gonna surprise you a little bit. This one's gonna surprise. It's actually a deathcore band, a pure deathcore band. And if you know the games I'm into, you're probably gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Reclaimer by Shadow of Intent.
And not that one. That one's admittedly that one's higher, but it's not Reclaimer. It is the first album.
So
I'm
that
talking Primordial.
that band's kind of like under hot water right now, but I don't. We're not gonna talk
I
about
don't give a damn. He's innocent. I don't give a shit.
it.
He's innocent.
Exactly, and I'm going to
He
see
literally
them.
proved that he is.
And I'm going to see them live anyways. I don't fucking care. I already bought the ticket, and hopefully I'm not going to that show alone. Well, actually, I'm
He
not
proved
going
that
to.
he's in.
I'm not going to that show alone because Danny's going. But I hope somebody else is. Yeah. Anyways.
He proved that he's innocent. So fuck it.
Mustang.
But I
Oh yeah.
mean, when
Also, they're
I
from Connecticut, New England.
hmm
New England deathcore.
but I mean this album's sick. I mean, obviously there's another album that is about Halo that's better, but I mean, you got features like Dan Watts. You got a feature with Dan Watson on this fucking album, The Cosmic Inquisitor. The Didax Will's a really good one. It's kind of like a good middle track. My only issue with this album, tracks are too long. That's me though.
Oh,
But
song, bro. It's funny because you say that, and then you get on Throne's ass because they have 2 minute songs or 3 minutes.
because their songs end before it gets good, before I'm fully into it. That's
They're.
my thing. I can't fully get into a short track.
I think
There
the
has to be a
point.
middle ground.
I think the point of them is literally just supposed to be therapy for with breakdowns because like if you read their lyrics, they're like,
Yeah,
yeah, and I'm just like, it
that's fair.
is therapy with the breakdowns.
That's fair, I
that's
suppose.
that's how I would describe them. Anyways,
For me, there's a middle ground. There's a middle ground. And obviously with long songs there are exceptions, as I'll talk about later with Periphery and Between the Buried and Me and whatever. There's exceptions. But I'm not a deathcore fan. So when a track for deathcore goes over 5 or 6 minutes, it better be good the rest of the way.
I'm
Didact's
more
Hand
than
was pretty
sure.
good though. Yep, no, every song they write is the exact fucking same. So
There's
blast
one.
beat, blast beat, blast beat, blast beat.
Bro, can you even blast beat? Anyways. Praise.
But yeah. All right.
Alright,
Yo,
it's my
10.
turn. Okay, this is another deathcore band that is dropping an
Another
album
one.
next week. It is Whitechapel again, with their debut album, Somatic Defilement. And yeah, this album is even more brutal than their first one. And honestly, their new album is probably going to be more heavier than this one, which I don't know how is fucking possible because this album is about Jack the fucking Ripper, who is a serial killer. But anyways, um, yeah. Uh, every song is a banger, but my two favorites that stick out to me are Prostatic Fluid Asphyxiation. It had the breakdown is fuck done, left for dead, and then the breakdown for Vice or X Caesar. is "You Will Never Fuck Again," and then it just goes into fucking breakdown. But like,
You will never fuck again.
this is like a fine line between death metal and deathcore, and like, yeah, they did such a good job. And then like, Bill Bozeman is just a nasty vocalist, nasty.
All right. Well, my next pick might make you a little mad, but I don't give a shit. It's Super Bloom by Silent Planet.
No fucking way.
Yep. It's
No,
it's not
wait,
your next
no,
pick.
no, no. Yeah.
I mean, Super
So
Bloom's a great
that
album.
I'm not pissed because yeah, literally in the
Super
same.
Bloom is yeah, Super Bloom. Well, I guess this can. There you go. This can be both of ours, and I'll just go again. So Super Bloom is a great album, of course, but um, I feel like it's still trying to mix in Garrett as the sole vocalist now, which isn't a problem. There's some things that fit really well. Antimatter is an example of this. Um, I mean, it's probably arguable, but it's my favorite track on the album.
This song, okay, this album hits a lot different live. I heard them play the
Oh yeah,
entire thing live. So,
oh yeah. But then you got like a cool
bro,
like soft
Euphoria
ambient track with
is
Euphoria, yeah.
amazing, amazing. That's probably my favorite song.
Right,
Uh,
and then Signal, uh,
which is straight up.
Anunnaki.
Those are. I got to hear that one before it came out. It was called Escape Pod Original. And I saw
Mm,
them open for the Platinum of Cane Hill. That was a sick show. But
mm,
those two songs literally sound. I think Buster helped mix or like ghostwrite or some shit, and like those two literally, I could definitely hear it.
right, yeah.
Like they straight up sound like Thal songs. Thal,
Oh,
Mr. Thal.
thou,
Wait,
thou.
wait. I would like to go next.
Okay,
Daddy one. Anyways.
okay.
The next album is from a band from Massachusetts, and they are stalling releasing their next album. When the fuck are you gonna release it? It is Ice Nine Kills, and it is one of their older albums. It is The Predator Becomes Prey. This album is so fucking good, and people do not talk about it enough. Every song is amazing, but which I feel like I keep saying about like every single album, but. So you got the power belief. Let's bury the bet. Let's bury the hatchet in your head. The coughing is moving. The fastest way to the girl's heart is through her rib cage, which is my favorite song. Well, actually, also the coffin is,
Just give me one more fucking reason,
and then
'cause you'd be just a sexy bleeding.
you've heard of Connecticut, but have you heard of Connecticut?
Connect the cuts.
They made
Connect
that.
the cuts.
Hey, don't roast me for that joke. They came up with that. But anyways, yeah, really good album. Also, one of the songs features a piece of shit vocalist, so which sucks because that song.
Very, very close to being the exact same pick. It's my next one after this one.
Well, if you want to say anything,
It's. I mean, you already said everything I wanted to say. So. Damn it! It's
wait.
actually two Ice Nine Kills albums after another,
Oh, so what's the
but
other
it's
one?
fine. The other one would be Every Trick in the Book.
Oh, that is super high up for me. Like I am talking very high, like top nine, maybe.
I mean, I'm also going off of the impact it had on me personally.
Yeah.
Ice Nine
Well,
Kills albums don't have that big of an impact on me.
yeah,
Like
and
I love them. Don't get me wrong; they're great albums. But
I
like
am I am also very
personally,
biased because they
that's fair.
literally are from Salem, which is the town over.
That's fair.
I tell people I'm from Salem because I mean nobody gives a shit about my town, and it's not cool. Salem is cool. It has a lot of history.
Well, see, I still bill myself like with my solo project as being from Huntington, West Virginia, because it has a bigger scene. But I also make it known that hey, I'm not currently living in Huntington. I live in Marion, Virginia.
Exactly. Literally, what's it called? Spencer is not from Salem. He's a lying piece of shit. He is from Swampscott, which is literally the town over from me. Now I just doxed myself. Oh well, it's okay. Watching. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
my next pick is a classic Gent album. It's Reflections with the Fantasy Effects, for specifically the Redux. The Redux shot it up high for me, and it's mainly because it used to be on my gym playlist. Um, it also has Charles from uh from Buried Alive on it. Like this was his album. And I mean the guitar works great for a Gent album. It's not anything mind blowing as far as the instrumentals go, but it's hard hitting, a lot of breakdowns, some great lyrics behind it. In Artifacts, Advance Upon Thee Brethren. There's other tracks on here. Rotations, um, a hype intro as well. Miscommunication. A lot of great tracks on this album. If you're angry, if you're pissed, you want to go to the gym, lift some heavy weights, this is an album to listen to. If you're into Jen.
There's another Jin album that I love that I told you about the other day. uh, wait, so I get two.
Yeah, because my next one is Predator. Predator Becomes the Prey, so you can go ahead and do two.
Oh wait, then I would be doing three because you did every trick in the book too.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck. Okay.
Okay, well I get three. Okay, cool. Anyways, next
I didn't even
is
really talk about every trick, but it's okay.
well, I mean you can talk about it.
It's okay.
Uh, common we'll talk about it. I bring it. It'll be very far away. Anyways, Common Courtesy by A Day to Remember. This was okay. The album after this was really good too, but in my opinion, like this was the last real A Day to Remember album, which I don't know, cause like there people said the new album is pretty good, but I'm not feeling the singles except for Miracle. But actually, no wait, I already well spoiler alert, I already did listen to it, and it's alright. But yeah, it's like the last classic, like, cause the album after Bad Vibrations, it was really good too. It had songs like Bullfight, which is like super underrated. Paranoia, all that. That album is not on the list, unfortunately. Didn't make the cut. Naivety. But that it was a really good album, but this album, like, it felt like they were on a hot streak. They did For Those Who Have a Heart, Homesick, What Separates You, I mean, What Separates Me from You from Me, I think that's what it is. And then yeah, this album. How like that's crazy when bands go on like streaks like that. Ice Nine Kills, I think, is another one of those bands. They did Safe as Just a Shadow, I mean, Predator Becomes Prey, Every Trick in the Book, Silver Scream 2, and they'll probably keep going with the next one as a work of
I
art.
mean, that the same can be said for bands like Invent Anime, Silent Planet, Currents. Um, every album by each of those bands is a banger. I guess Currents you could say a little less so with the newest album, but it's still pretty good. So I'll count
Well,
it.
they only did
You're
like
not a
two.
fan of Invent Anime, but with me,
They only
every
did
album's great.
they only did like two albums back to back because I Let the Devil In is an
That's true.
EP, and um, then The Place I Feel Safest,
I mean,
and
I'm
but
counting albums and EPs mixed together. That's what
okay.
I'm counting that
But
because
anyways,
like you can't not include great EPs like I Let the Devil In, or um,
I said hello
The Sun Sleeps as If It Never Was. You can't not count EPs like that. So like,
I never.
add them in.
Anyways, the next band is a band that released a new song yesterday, and I lost my shit because they're my favorite kind of metalcore. And it is Dying Wish with symptoms of survival, and yeah, I mean, there's this they had me because they lost me when I saw them live because Emma blew out her voice and I didn't know that and I was not impressed, so I was just like, like this band is like. And then when they dropped "Torn from Your Solo," bleh, fuck, I cannot talk today. When they dropped "Torn from Your Silhouette," I was literally okay. I'm a fan now because it literally sounds like if Killswitch was a hardcore band, which they actually used to be with like their first two albums, kind of, um, kind of debatable. Like they had like songs that had like hardcore vibes. Oh yeah, did you see that Killswitch meme I posted earlier? The one from As Daylight Dies, where it's like wiggity 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 wiggity. This is fucking hilarious. But anyways, yeah, this album is amazing, and Emma improved a lot on vocals, and they improved live too because I seen them again, and they are amazing live. The next album is another hardcore band. It's a band. This album was their debut album, and one of the songs on this album is basically a meme. Yep,
Uh-huh.
we know what it is. It is Laugh Tracks by Noctlu. Cause the first time I seen them with Beartooth in 2018, I was like, this is the heaviest fucking band I've heard in my entire life. And that's before I got into deathcore, like really. Cause the only deathcore I heard before was like, um, Count Your Blessings by Bring Me the Horizon, which is a heavy album. And I honestly should have put that album higher because I forgot how much I love it. But like, yeah. Anyways,
On a song about getting better.
but like Oblivion's Peak, Dead Ringer, The Rain, Blood Will Have Blood, Counting Worms, My Heroes, Billy No Me.
I want.
No, no.
Ah.
Anyways, your turn.
Alright, my turn. Kill switch engage as daylight dies.
Oh shit. Well, we're about to.
Yep.
I'm about to fight you.
This is part of my childhood. The only metalcore band I was allowed to listen to. The only metalcore band I was allowed to listen to as a kid, which is wild, I know.
This
But
album, this album. I'm not saying anything because this is literally like.
well, the
Yeah.
reason it's so low is the same reason a lot of classic albums that should be higher aren't. I played the shit out of it.
But this is literally an iconic album.
Yes, 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 and so are so many that I'm about to talk about later on. But
Better than a lot of August Burns Red albums, which because
I
like
disagree. But
Howard is
we
such a
won't
good
talk about that.
vocalist,
Agreed. But
and Adam
I
D is
look at the
such a
instrumental
good
aspect.
guitarist.
I look at the instrumental aspect
I think
before I look at the vocals.
Adam D is a better guitarist. Not gonna lie, than
No, he's not.
yes he is.
I would
Anyway,
like to. I would love to watch Adam play half of what JB can.
you probably could. He produced a lot of those metalcore bands back in the day, so you probably could.
Yes, but August Burns Red's a prog metalcore band. They don't do basic shit.
I wouldn't really say they're.
They are prog. Listen to
Anyways,
Found in Faraway Places. Listen to fucking oh fuck. The new album. Fuck's sake. I can't Listen to the
Ooh,
new album. Listen to Phantom Anthem. Those are prog as fuck. Excuse me? Messengers may not be, but their newer stuff is.
that's the only stuff I like. I like the metalcore shit. Poor kid for
I don't
life.
know. I like some substance with my breakdowns. But anyway, yeah. Moving on. We're gonna
Yeah,
get into a fight.
I'll I'll talk about the album later because I will probably talk about it for like an hour. Anyways,
I
but
hope
for
not. I'd like to make some food.
I would like to talk to other people respectfully.
Damn, I see how it is.
I said
You never want
respect.
to talk to me?
All right, bye. See you
See how it
later.
is?
It
So
was
leave.
over.
I'm kidding.
uh, the next album is from a Christian metalcore band, and
Sorry.
it is shut the fuck up. Dark Skies by Fit for King. This album is super fucking good. Not a bad song. Not a bad song. Not one
I
bad song.
agree.
My favorite songs are Tower of Pain, Shattered Glass, Backbreaker, Grave, The Price of Agony. Every song. Every song is super good. And I've seen them like they're my second most seen live band. Well, actually next to
Alright.
Iceland. Anyways,
Alright. My next one goes to Currents the way it ends.
go. No boogie away.
I is it the same? Is it the same?
Yeah.
Oh god damn it. Okay, so the way the reason I put the way it ends there, and then I'll let you talk about it because it's the same pick. Um,
Connecticut band again.
we're at like what 30 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the reason I put the way it ends at 30, I actually went through a whole re-listen of all of Current's discography.
I just listened to this whole entire album 5 times this week. It should be higher. I listened
But
to it in the car with Danny when we were coming home from New York. I listened
yeah,
to it after Throne. I listened to it yesterday in the gym. And well, actually, yeah, and then I listened to it Monday in the gym too.
right. Shit. Well,
Go
there's
on.
some. I mean, there's some of their most iconic songs are on this album, and it's one of the best. I would argue it's the second best COVID album.
Yeah. Uh,
That being said,
dude, you know what's crazy? Let Me
not their
Leave.
best.
Let Me Leave is their most streamed song, which honestly is a.
That's
I agree with that. I
no, it's not.
agree.
Monsters higher than it.
Wait, really? Oh well,
Monsters and Never There are both higher.
that's what it shows on like the on Spotify. Wait,
I mean, it's probably their most listened to right now, but it's not their most streamed.
yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah, Let Me Leave
Better Days
has.
has more too.
Oh yeah, okay. But it was on like it was their top song for some reason a few days ago. Um, so that's why I thought.
Father Day yourself.
Oh yeah. But in my opinion, this album is perfect. Not a single bad song, but there's also another album from them that doesn't have a single bad song, which I will talk about later, which we already know what it is. But
Yeah, we're probably gonna both share the pick too.
um,
But
also I met Brian from Currents on Sunday, and he thought I was some other vocalist. I don't know who the fuck he thought I was, but I was looking for.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
I don't know if she's it was Anna. I was looking for Anna at the show, and then I did not find her, but I found Brian Weil. Or wait, Weil. I don't remember how to. Willie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't remember. Uh, but yeah, he was like, hey, dude, what's up? I haven't seen you in a long time, and I was like, huh? what? I was like, I've never met you before, but it is great to meet you. And I said, I am in a band though, a new band. It's called Destined. Well, actually, I just was like, here, Destined for Doom, and he was honestly one of the nicest, like bigger band vocalists that I met. So and he was like real as fuck. He was like, sorry if I'm like antisocial right now. It's like, oh, trust me, I get it.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah. Who's going?
I shall go next. I'm going to I'm going to pick Breakdown of Sanity with not Perception, fucking Coexistence. Their last album. Uh I would argue it's their best from a songwriting perspective, and it just felt like it had more passion behind it. I feel like a part of them knew it was close to the end, so they wanted to put out something that was great for everybody to listen to. And there were some good features on here too. You got Rio Kinoshita on Back to Zero. A
Funny you
vocalist
men-
I don't know, but huh?
Funny you mentioned Rio Kino. This is the next
But
pick. One of his bands.
uh, there's a vocalist on here that I don't know on Crossed Fingers is Bjorn Krebs. I don't know who he is though, but never found out who he was. Obviously, it's Breakdown of Sanity. You're gonna have some breakdowns in there. I mean, but they're one of the
Boston.
best bands when it comes to that. But you know, the interlude the interlude title track into New World is an incredible outro to the album. So Coexistence, and also had a big impact on me as well. So
Okay, well,
I'm also gonna find out who Bjorn is.
I also gave away who my next pick is, kind of, and it's probably pretty obvious because Rio doesn't have another album. I don't think. Well, he does, but this is probably his best album, like by a mile, and it is Crystal Lake Helix. This album is fucking phenomenal. Like, I had the when I first listened to Aeon, I had the reaction everybody had to Ted Hellfire. I was like, "What the fuck? Their drummer is cracked."
Hmm.
And Rio is fucking cracked as well. Like his gutturals and shit. Oh my fucking god! And then he has amazing cleans too, which is insane. Like you don't really find vocalists like that anymore. Well, you do, but Rio was just a different breed. And since you technically kind of got to, I will.
Okay.
And it is a new album, 2024. The band that is super underrated, that should be a lot bigger. They're from Australia. Gives it away. It is Diamond Construct with their new album, Angel Killer Zero, which are coming out with a deluxe edition of. So it might end up getting higher if those songs are any cool. Um,
Any
which
cool?
which they will be because it's Diamond Construct and they do fun metal things. But yeah, honestly, every song on this album is a banger, and I feel like this is like they found their song on DX2, the EP, but this is like kind of like a evolution of that. So yeah,
Right. Alrighty then. My next one is Ocean's 8 Alaska Lost Isles.
I had that on my list too. But
I mean, it's one of those albums that you're just like, what the fuck is this?
yeah, I know because it's like metalcore
I
and
mean,
deathcore mixed
but
together.
it's not even just that. It's also the fact that it's Prague. We know it's Prague. It's extremely technical, and it's like, what the fuck is this? But somehow it works. my only gripe really with this is that. I mean, I feel like it was just technical for the sake of being technical. Same sentiment I shared with a few other bands. But this is great though. Fucking James was actually willing to be in this band at this time. So like you could tell he had the passion behind his voice. You got the intro. Blood Brothers is a great start track. High Horse, Vultures and Sharks, Downsides. I mean, it's a great album. The entire thing is incredible.
Vultures
Uh,
and Sharks are
fun
the
outro as
first
well.
song I heard from them. Funny enough, off of Guitar Hero Live, which is weird. I was just like,
Right?
oh,
Yeah.
wow, who's this band? I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? This deathcore and metalcore mixed together. Sadly, I don't think
Right.
I'll ever see them live because Fearless Records doesn't seem to have any interest in letting them outside of UK, which sucks.
That's a them problem, not Fearless. That's
Anyways,
a them problem.
my next album is a iconic already metalcore band that's dropping an album tomorrow. and yeah, that kind of already gives it away. And it is Architect with Holy Hell. Uh but yeah, this album obviously had a lot of inspiration because of the passing of Tom. But this album is so fucking good. Death is Not Defeat, Hereafter, Mortal After All, Damnation, Royal Beggars, which is my favorite track. Well, actually, Hereafter is another one. Um, yeah, I know how to play that song, so the bias. But yeah, and Doomsday, the song that everybody is still ripping off to this day. So yeah,
But you got that's hilarious because my
next
fave,
up.
my next one is Doomsday. It's not Doomsday. It's fucking Holy Hell. Sorry,
Ooh,
I had
fuck.
Doomsday stuck in
You
my head.
fucked up. You fucked up.
I had Doomsday stuck in my head. Holy Hell's my. You said everything I want to say. Um. That's all
Wage
I can
War.
really say.
Wage War has
Um.
left the chat.
My the only difference that I will say is that my favorite is Hereafter. But
So that's I said that's my favorite, but I'm biased because Royal
that's
Beggars I
fair.
know how to play. I crowd surfed at that song when I saw them.
That's fair.
Uh, my next album. Well, actually, unless you want to go, I don't care.
You can go.
Okay, this is a iconic deathcore MySpace band. This is their debut album. Um, and I kind of look like the vocalist if they didn't have any tattoo. R.I.P. Mitch Lucker, which gives it away. It is Suicide Silence. I almost said Season. The Cleansing. This album is fucking iconic. With Unanswered, Bludgeoned to Death, Hands of a Killer, No Pity for a Coward. Um, yeah, I mean this is literally an iconic album. Doesn't get more iconic than this, I feel like. But there is another Suicide Silence album on this list, and it is from the Mitch era. So yeah, but man, I am still screaming at myself because I'm just like, man, I wish I was born and like to be alive in this time because I would have killed to see Mitch alive. But I refuse to see Suicide Silence because they are not the same band. No disrespect to Eddie, but he doesn't have everything that Mitch had. He had the looks, he had the vocal ability, and he had the stage presence, charisma, and
But he's
like
not Mitch.
yeah, didn't have any of that. Maybe the vocal ability, but that's it.
Right. All right. My next one is one you've already talked about. It's Fit for a King, Dark Skies. Um, this is like what, number 25? ish, 26. Gonna keep track. Yeah. But my favorite track on this album is actually "When Everything Means Nothing" because of the meaning behind that track. But of course, every track's a banger. Backbreaker, you mentioned, "The Price of Agony," "Engraved," which is a great opener.
I hope you're
Uh,
right.
the Youth Division is one I never hear anybody talk about.
Oh yeah, I think they played
Like,
that when I saw them.
and then you've got and then
Better.
another one that I'm surprised you didn't mention. Anthem of the Defeated.
Uh, yeah, I like that song, but the song like it kind of gets lost in the shuffle because
That's
wait,
fair.
hold on, wait, what song comes next? I think like
When everything means nothing.
yeah, I kind of just skipped to it. I'm like, oh, but it's a good song. But anyways, next for me is this album is 20 years old, which is fucked up. Um, and this is a band that is in many video games. Uh, and I found this album because of one song in Saints Row 2. Um, but this album, oh yeah, and they have another song in what was it? Need for Speed Most Wanted. Um, but anyways, this album is City of Evil from Avenged Sevenfold, which in my opinion is their best album. Maybe like it's a debate for me because also um called Waking the Fallen is also a really great album, and Nightmare is a really great album. Some people like the self-titled album. I personally never got into it. It's also on the proggier side. That's probably why. Um, but like I like their like more metalcore sound. So yeah, and this album was like a mix between that and being like more radio friendly. Um, Beast in the Harlot, Burn It Down, uh, Blinded in Chains, Backcountry, Seize the Day. Um, yeah, every song on this album I enjoy. And I wish they would do a 20-year anniversary of this album, but I don't think they are. Sucks because this album is super iconic.
Alright. So we're up to number 24 now.
24.
24. Is that's right? Yeah, I think.
You're gonna be shocked of one of these albums that is up here. Well, I think you won't be because of how much I talked about it last year, but it's high.
That's fair. My next one's Born of Osiris, Tomorrow We Die Alive. It's an album that no one really talks about aside from one track, that being Machine, but
Hell
I
yeah.
feel like I mean Divergency, Aeon 3, Illusionist, Exhilarate, they kind of mix techno vibes with prog metal, and it's like it works. Like this, obviously they just lost Jason Richardson, so like, how do you fix that? You kind of morph your sound a little bit. People didn't like it, but I quite enjoyed it. Not gonna lie,
I
I
only
think
like
that
one.
was the perfect course of action.
I only like
Yeah.
machines. That's literally the only Boner of Osiris song I've ever listened.
Well, guess what? It's off of that album, so it's
Yeah,
warranted.
I
There you
know.
go. But yeah,
It's literally just ones and zeros. Actually, I think it's just zeros.
but it works.
Exactly. Like I don't
But
know
it
how,
works.
cause they had
Minimalism,
cool
minimalism done right.
they had cool rhythm.
Minimalism done right.
Anyways,
And there's a couple other albums that you'll hear in a sec.
this band did not do minimalism, and this album came out in 2024, and it was a album that was really high up. It is not the album that you think. This band is also from Connecticut, and it is Boundaries.
Wow,
That is a little more. Yeah.
that was my second guess.
I know what you thought it was. That well, actually, that's a
Movie.
few picks later. Anyways, um, Turning Hate in the Rage is honestly the most fucking piss song ever, and I'm excited I'm gonna hear it live thanks to somebody buying me. Um, and yeah, Easily Erased is an amazing song. A Pale Light Lingers. I almost got decapitated the last time I saw the Boundaries live. So hopefully, either they don't play it live or they play it live, and I'm
But
having to
not like ours.
I have to protect some. I'd rather do that instead
And
of get killed.
hold on.
Just finds me fucking laid out on the floor and has that'd be that'd be depressing. Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
he's gotta be dead.
By God, that killed him. He's broken in half.
I
My
won't,
God is my witness. He is broken in half.
I need to be able to see the plot in you so I could hear Forgotten. I have spent my life chasing things that have only brought me pain. In the end, when I'm dead, hope it was for something.
Well, we're at another impasse because my number 23 is also Boundaries. Death's a little more.
Bro.
Again, it's probably because I listened the fuck out of it, but there's some tracks you didn't mention, and again, you're gonna hate me. Blame's Burden. It's a perfect
Work is
mix
big.
of it's a perfect mix of their sound mixing in
Oh yeah,
Marcus.
I didn't even
It's jarring, but it works.
I didn't even mention Blood Soaked.
Yeah.
With, with fucking Matt
Um,
Honey.
A Pale Light Lingers is one of my favorites as well, if not my favorite.
Like,
Easily Erased, you already mentioned.
featuring
Yeah,
Flashy. It's,
Loki.
it's weird. Some people call him Loki. Some people call him Loki. Like weird. I don't know his fucking name, and I've met him before. So
I'm going with the Metal Burb way of saying it. He called him Loki, so
for me, Loki is spelled Loki. That's how I name
well,
my.
yeah.
That's what I named my dog when I had him. But anyways, my next album is a debut album, and it might be the only good album from this band because they released an EP before this, which was really good. And then they released this album, which was also really good. And then they decided, you know what? We're just gonna be an arena rock band. Um, but like it's fucking weird because like the first two things they released was like hardcore, and the vocalist had just gotten out of another band called Attack Attack, and then he made Beartooth disgusting, and yeah, that is literally one of my. I'm surprised I didn't put it higher. I really should have because this is like literally such a good album, and I feel like it's one of those things where I've listened to it so many times that I just kind of got sick of it, sick and disgusting, sick of it. Um, but yeah, it's still an amazing
Think of it.
record, and this was on it easily Caleb Shomo's best work, but people also don't talk about This Means War from Attack Attack, which was literally like Beartooth B-sides if they had like electronics and were like tuned to drop F. But yeah, and I'm just gonna put this out there. The album that you thought before that um is up next. Okay, I guess I'll just talk about it since more technical difficulty. This album is it is this was my album of the year of 2024, and it was uh Cane Hill, A Piece I never let
Yeah.
you. Yep, saw that coming. Every single song, I love it, and I'm still listening to it on repeat. I have not got sick of it, which is crazy because a lot of the times I do get sick of the album. But man, like Elijah is so fucking and like man, so good, and like the lyrics are so good. It literally sounds like if the Death of Peace of Mind by Bad Omens was written by a better band. Hot take, but
Okay. Hopefully
also
this stays this way.
also Jesse Cash wrote a lot of the stuff for the Death of Peace of Mind. So their best songs like Artificial Suicide, if you go on the credits it says Jesse Cash wrote stuff for that, and What Do You Want From Me? But yeah.
Facts, facts. All right, so now that we're back, my next one, number 22, is Periphery with the self-titled Periphery 1, the one that started it all.
It
Um, yeah, and two. Um, it used to be higher, but I listened back to it again in comparison to the rest of their discog, and I will be real,
Discog,
I do under yeah, I do understand the gripes. I understand them now, listening to it again. The album is really long. It's an hour 12 minutes long, but I mean, it's still a pioneer album. It's an album that changed the game back in 2010. I mean, Letter Experiment, Butter Snips, Icarus Lives, All My Feelings, Zygle Rocks is one of my favorites, and of course the original Reptile race car. Um, I mean, there's some iconic prog metal tracks on this album that kind of mixed, that kind of rode the line between metalcore and prog metal, but it's not quite metalcore. So it's like it's in between, but it set it walked so albums like Periphery 2 could run, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But Periphery 1, the next one for me is Era with the self-titled.
which I talked about. That was the last album I talked about. The last episode.
Yep. Era with the self-titled. I mean, everything you said in the last episode is basically the same sentiment as me. Um, there's a lot to be desired on this album, especially with JT. I feel like really coming into his own with his own sound on this album.
Yeah, I think
Um,
this was definitely his best performance.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I was just listening to Texas in July on the way up to Robbie's, and I forgot how good he was on there.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, this is another MySpace deathcore album, and it is a debut
Alright.
album. Um, Rip. Anyway, well, good thing I'm talking about my album. Anyways, yeah, this is a debut album from a band. They switched vocalists, but this album is uh Desolation of Eden by Chelsea Grin. This album is iconic for two songs, but one in particular, Recreant. But besides that, this album is really fucking good. But also, you got like Shane Stokes, uh, like um, Revenant, um, like yeah,
Okay.
all the other songs are fucking sick. But the standout song is Recreant. Like that's their most popular. I literally, spoiler alert, I did a cover of it, and I have to edit the videos. It'll come up. Do 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 do. Wow, no, no.
Okay.
I was
Hopefully it
stalling.
stays this way. That would be nice, please. Uh Piss me off. I need a new mic. Probably next paycheck. Anyway. So my next one, I wasn't even able to look at my fucking list because I was trying to fuck with that. We're in the top 20 now, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Make Them Suffer, How to Survive a Funeral.
Wow.
Uh, Again, another album I listened to heavily. Um, Tracks that I really love on this album: Erase Me. That's basic, I know, but whatever. Bones is one I go back to a lot as well, and Falling Ashes is one that I enjoy as well. Not much more to say. This album's iconic. Number
I'm,
three COVID album.
I'm actually next was higher. Should be higher. But the one that I just changed it for is my favorite Fit for a King album. Like one left, and that is Creation Destruction. This, well, this I think this was my introduction to. They had Bitter End on Killing Floor too, and yeah, this album was just so fucking good. It had Warpath, which had the long ass scream, and then Bitter End, Hollow King, Skin and Bone, and yeah. Also, I figured out why bands don't play older songs live a lot of the times. It's because they have to still pay the people who were on those songs, because technically, like, they're still like performing it and it's still getting like streamed, but it's live. So yeah, whenever a band plays like an older song with band members that were not on it, they get a paycheck.
That's fair.
I figured that out because I had to learn that for Destined for Doom.
All right. Number 19 for me is Invent Animate Steel World. Ben English's last album with them. His last album, I'm pretty sure it's a date. Um, Even though he's talked about coming out with new music. Still World's very underrated. I don't hear it talked about enough. But it's as far as the vocal performance for Ben goes, it's his best work, absolutely. It's got some of the best guitar work I've heard from them. Keaton really came into his own on that. And of course, Trey with the drums was incredible. Um, Tracks like Indigo, fucking Celestial Floods, Midnight Hymn, Soul Sleep. I can go on and on, but this album is incredible. It's one of my favorite albums from the 2010s. From the pre Marcus era.
Alright. My next album is from an iconic band. They had so many good albums. The singer of the band passed away, unfortunately, and it's almost been 10 years, which is fucked up because I still remember when he passed away. It was like one of the worst days of my life because I was supposed to see them the week later, but now I'm never gonna see them because I'm not seeing them with their new, because they're kind of not really the best
Sure.
person in the world, but and I just cannot connect with them. But this album is really fucking amazing. It is their third album. It is Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park. I already talked about Linkin Park before and I didn't make a speech like that, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, this album is so fucking good. Given Up, iconic because of the scream. And it like hits harder now because Chester passed. Um, Leave out all the rest, bleed it out. Shadow of a Day, What I've Done. Shout out to Transformers for that one. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, No More Sorrow. Such a good album. And I have it on vinyl. Uh, yeah, it's such a great album. Linkin Park is a band like, it was. I feel like Chester carried the band because like, I don't, well, like the riffs were cool and all, but like they were basic for the time. But sometimes basic works, especially for Linkin Park. They weren't really a band that was trying to be like crazy technical. They just wanted to write bangers. So yeah, and there is definitely more Linkin Park very high up on this list. So yeah,
Well, my number 18 goes to a band that does that, or at least used to do generic metalcore very well. It's Wage War with Blueprints.
go.
Yeah. So I mean, do I really have to say much? I always keep saying with Wage War there are two albums that are top tier that they wrote, and then they just never wrote a good album again.
Even though Danny disagrees, but fuck you, Danny. You're my child, and I will give you a
Stigma
spanking.
sucks dick. Manic is okay. Manic's fine. I'll listen to Manic from time to time. Whatever.
I told
Stigma sucks.
I told
Terrible.
it. I told him if he put stigma on the way to Robbie's, I was gonna kick him out of the band.
You can walk, bitch.
Well,
But
he
no,
was the one driving.
21. Yeah,
I'd be
21.
the.
The River. Deadlocked is an underrated one. The title track.
Ooh, there's
I
a
can go on.
song. There's a song off the anniversary edition of that, Surrounded that I really like.
Yeah, I guess you can add that on too.
Okay, so this is an
More
album
about Wage
from.
War later.
This is an album from a band that you really like. We talked about a minute ago because we almost got in a fight about it. Just kidding. I don't know. Anyways, this is, in my opinion, their second best album and album out, and a lot of people would probably agree. Like a majority of August Burns Red fans would agree. This is Constellation, and yeah, it is such a good album. Obviously, you got Whitewash, Maria's, uh, but the whole album is fucking incredible, and yeah, it's kind of like a staple of metalcore.
Hmm. I can agree with that for sure.
There's one that's even higher. You know exactly what one that is.
Yeah, that one's my fourth favorite by them.
Anyway,
Anyways, oh, right, that hurt. Uh, so trying to pull up my list again because I took it off. Where the hell did it go? Ah, I found it. I found it. All right, it's Veil of Maya, False Idol.
I'm
Num
surprised because
num
I have
numero
that
16.
lower.
Yeah. It's an album that kind of carried me through college when I was still doing that. So it had an impact on me, as well as I mean, it's Veil of Maya, and honestly, I mean, I guess you could argue that it's Lucas's best work. Songwriting wise, it is their best work, but I think the one thing that sets the other album apart, which I will talk about it in a bit, is I don't know, the creativity on it is what I mean. That's what sets it apart.
39:30.
Yes, it is. But yeah, Veil of Maya, False Idol. Lucas has his best vocal performance he's ever done. The production's the best. Mark is a beast on guitar. We already knew this. I mean, yeah, not much more to say.
Gotta start speeding through these, otherwise we're gonna need to make a part three. And then we're not even gonna get to
I
talk
mean, we
about the.
could. I mean, I was about to say we could do a part three for the final 10.
Wait, what
We
are
could
we
do that.
on right now? 15.
We
Wait,
are on. That was 16.
next would be 15.
Yep.
Let's save the last 15 for next.
I bet that works for me. Y'all get to wait a little longer, even though some of my picks are going to be obvious, but whatever.
I feel like my number one pick is very obvious, like super obvious.
Probably. Probably.
especially because I got mad. Brought it up, bro. Anyway, uh,
Alright.
so last month, Enterprise Earth dropped a mid album or EP. It's better than the album, but it's not like it's nowhere, nowhere close to the Chosen.
Oh, of
Which
course.
the Chosen is an impossible standard. It's like Killswitch Engage trying to write As Daylight Dies or The End of Heartache with Jesse. Not possible.
Well, see, my whole thing with that is I feel like The Chosen could be overtaken if Dan was still in the band. What I'm
That's
thinking
what
right
I'm.
now, and I'm not, yeah. What I'm saying right now that with Travis, he's not a bad vocalist. Like with his ability to sing well, and his cleans are great. With his ability to sing well, he adds another layer to them. I feel like they're still trying to make a sound that fits him, but it's not working, is what it is. I don't know, because like Enterprise Earth was one of those deathcore bands that I held in really high regard because The Chosen is one of the best albums I ever heard, and that's saying a lot. But I don't know, man. That's what I feel. I do feel like they're heading in the right direction with this EP. I do feel like they're heading in the right direction as far as finding a sound that fits Travis, but it's still not quite there yet. So I agree with you on that.
Okay, so and then next, anyways, uh, what was I? Oh yeah, Great American Ghost released their album Tragedy of the Common, and I think it might be their best work. But man, Torture World was so good, and I know it's hard to compare an EP and an album, but like, it was so fucking good. Like that got me into them, and I had that shit on repeat. But this album is really good. Got songs like I. The only thing that did it for me is they released 5 singles, and there's only songs on the album. I hate when bands do that, but I get it, especially as an artist. So, but you got like Kerosene, Echoes of War, my favorite song, Forsaken, uh, or Hymns of Decay. Yeah, great album. I feel like they're probably gonna get huge soon because they're uh they're on Sharptown, huge, and they're also from New England.
Right.
Actually, they say they're from Massachusetts, but they're from New Hampshire. So I don't get that either. Why do bands do that? Like, where are you actually from?
Um, my opinion on that album, it's great. It is solid. I just feel like it's missing something. I don't know. Maybe I need to listen through it again, but I didn't feel a lot of impact with the songs. And impact moments are what draw me to it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe if you watch like they did like a thing where it was like the albums that inspired this album. Maybe
That's
that
fair.
might help. Cause I
Maybe,
watched
yeah, probably.
because he said like Under Oath to find the Great Line was one of the inspirations for Sugar. I don't know
True.
which album, but I think it was the one with Demure. Demure. Very
I
demure.
was about
Next
to say Periphery is heavily inspired by Meshuggah, so like it depends on what you look how you look at it.
next is a fucking very sick song about Zelda, and it is Kill Streak, featuring Andy Sizik, my guy. And yeah, this song is really good. This guy is not even signed, and he got on Octane Radio, which is pretty sick. I'm in a server that he's in. I was just like, dude, you deserve it. Not only because Andy's in it, but because the song in general is just
Are
fucking
you talking about Sam from Kill Streak?
yeah.
That's crazy. They got on Octane. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
It's not just one guy in the project though.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a whole band.
Oh,
It's a whole
cool.
band. It is his project, but it's a whole band.
So like Destined for Doom because Destined for
Yeah.
Doom is like my project.
Yeah, he's
And
got Mike Skinner on guitar, bro.
I still didn't listen to this Aviana. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll give an opinion on it because I love Aviana. And I'm excited for this new album. Or whatever the fuck is coming out. Storm Ablaze. Joel is Joel. He's putting out great vocals. It's minimalistic, but it works. You know, he's one of those vocalists that is very, very high on that. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying? And he has that incredible range and he has that great singing voice. He brought out a bit of a lower tone with his singing this time around though. The chorus is huge, the breakdown is huge. It's Aviana. I mean, you want some trippy breakdowns and some big choruses and some heavy, heavy lyrics. Aviana, baby. But yeah, it's basically event animated if they were deathcore, like, kinda.
the next man. I don't even know if we can talk about this because it
I don't think
technically
we should.
we heard it. Okay, it's a deathcore band. They, I think their label accidentally released it. It was a good song though. It was a good song, but we'll talk about it when it comes out. But yeah, we heard an
Yeah,
unreleased song basically. But the next thing is also a deathcore band. Dark OUS dropped Death Mask 3, which I don't know. I don't know if it's the best Death Mask cuz Death Mask 2 is so good.
I
Um
would put Death Mask 2 over it.
yeah, me too. But I don't know cuz like Blood Host is so good.
Yeah,
Then Tura was really good. Just
Supra.
whatever. All right.
The first four tracks really, really smacked me in the face. So like, I don't know.
Got Spirit Box, No Loss, uh, The Love,
Cannot
and
wait for this new album.
I know, dude, it's gonna smack. Dude, we are eating good. We got Whitechapel, which I know you don't care about the album, but and then
I'll still listen to it.
Spirit Box, like, and then the week after that,
We after that.
got Destined for Doom,
Yes,
Addicted,
sir.
JP.
Next week, New Eternity's Edge, baby. Next week, since you want to keep promoting your fucking shit, I haven't touched my shit.
Well, this is my show. Well, fuck you.
Hey, it doesn't say just the Trent show, does it?
Oh wait, let me rename it.
No, I just won't show up next week. It's okay. I'm kidding.
Next week.
Okay. Not in the next episode. I'm kidding. Uh, but
Oh
yeah.
wait a minute.
New
Speaking of plugging
sp
myself,
sp sp.
speaking of plugging myself, mate, I released a trap metal EP. Forgot to plug that too. A world that doesn't exist,
Yo,
and I self-produced it.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uh, and then we had Death Shall Have No Dominion by Eminence. Banger.
This is
I don't
all.
know what this means though.
No, it's all from their debut albums that they're remastering,
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, "What the fuck?
and
No
it's
way!"
super fucking heavy.
It is. They used to be a really fucking heavy band, bro.
I didn't listen to these, so
And no,
I.
it's not. And by the way, no, it's not from their debut, but
Oh well. Anyways, it's one of their albums. I don't know. I thought that
I,
was.
I, I'm willing to bet it's a B side. Honestly,
Thought this
I'm actually
band.
looking right now. Hold on.
Thought this band was called Primitive Sex.
Find the sacrifice. It's talking about Eminence.
I know, but that's what's next. Well, actually, no.
Oh
There's
yeah.
two others that I didn't listen to.
Also, you want to know what album we didn't listen to, bro? I
What?
haven't listened to it either. Eminence just surprisingly dropped a 10-track album.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it's a remaster of their first album.
that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about this new fucking track. No.
Yeah,
I was about to say this new track is a fucking banger.
yeah. I think this is B-side stuff then. But
I
yeah,
think I think it is. It has that same production, so like I'm imagining it is, but
probably
yeah.
for a deluxe edition. But
I
yeah,
I think they should because the black was really good.
I did listen to their debut album and it's sick.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, this one kind of stinks. This one really stinks. A Day to Remember is back.
Yikes.
And
Hit the
these two
yikes.
yeah, yike. Yeah, dude, Make It Make Sense has the most generic metalcore riff
Make
I've
it
ever.
make sense. Make it make sense.
And the riff is so fucking generic. Bam, tit, 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 tit. It literally reminds me of Backfire from Throne, but not as cool.
Well, see, I could get past that if the lyrics weren't basic and cringe.
What happened to Jeremy McKinnon? He used to have really good lyrics, but lately they've been ass. I
He started
think
he started listening to the feedback, pun intended.
feedback, feedback. Whoa, whoa.
If I want your feedback, I'll let.
It just killed your mic. I heard them live play that and it was horrible. Horrible. Terrible. And since this band released 2 songs, might as well talk about both of them. Everything Ends and Brain Dead by Architects. Brain Dead was better because literally Everything Ends just sounds like a Bring Me the Horizon song that got scrapped off of Next Gen that Jordan Fish was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this to Architects. And then uh Brain Dead literally was like a hardcore punk song, which was really different from Architects. Then Dying Wish released a new too, which they have Will Putney producing it, and it was also fire. And then, and then, nope.
Ah,
Oh yeah,
fuck's sake. Anyway,
yeah, Architect,
and then Yo Homies, Saving Vice, they dropped a remix.
which I got to hear the song before it came out. I was at their house.
So, what are some big things to come, Trent, aside from our releases?
Whitechapel, Spirit Box, Full Jarcha
Hopefully,
in May.
hopefully another track from the Silent Planet Invent Animate collab. That's gonna win collab of the year. And I'm not
Yeah,
just saying that because it's Invent Animate. I'm saying it because it's Invent Animate and Silent Planet.
yeah,
Like, come on now. Like, come on now. Um, of course, with my project, I also have a couple of collaborations possibly set. So
yeah.
hopefully,
I
one of them
can't,
you know very much about.
I can't talk about my stuff because,
Yeah.
yeah,
All we know is you got a song coming out.
yeah, Vindictive out March 4th with a music video that is being edited as we probably.
Fails, yeah.
Yeah, and I recorded 3 covers. One of them was Pray for Plagues, which actually is probably going to come out tomorrow. Um, Recreant by Chelsea Grin. These weren't full covers, by the way. They were only like verses or whatever. I might do full covers in the future, but that also takes time from studio because I record them at Robbie's. Um, and then I did In Dying Days by As Butter and Black as MySpace.
Mm.
Yeah.
Roy.
Next episode, we have a lot to talk about. We'll be able to talk about the rest of the Architect album. We'll be able to talk about all that shit. All that
All that
shit.
shit.
We'll be able to talk about Vindictive,
Then we'll be able to talk about both of our tracks.
Spineless. You didn't even talk about the EP. Well, the current EP.
Oh yeah, fuck. Guys, my mic was fucking dying, bro.
Yeah.
No, I listened to the EP and it's your best trap metal work for sure. I do feel
Obviously.
like your vocals overpower the instrumental though
Yeah.
a little
Well,
bit, but like that can be fixed later on. It's for fun. So, um, some announcements coming from Lorne very soon. Not soon, soon, but very soon. Slightly soon. So,
yeah, because we didn't want to keep this episode going to like fucking 11 like last time.
yeah. So next episode, top 15 albums, the final 15. All the new albums coming out next month. And whatever other new releases, including ours, we will talk about and we'll critique each other's tracks. It's gonna be great. Uh,
Even though it'll be one's like professionally produced and homes. The big difference.
hey, look, put some respect on my name. At least I'm doing it.
No, I know, I
What's
know.
your fucking excuse, bitches?
Just saying the big
Make
difference.
music. Make music. What's y'all's excuse? Anyway, it's one that you'll enjoy. It's an angry one.
Yeah, I know. Told me.
So yeah, no. Anywho, bye bye.